Today is November 18th, and we are discussing all things Yankees baseball. Got a bevy of topics. Is that a word? Bevy. Damn. Orange. Free Arby.
Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, theme, and hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin Yanks. Talkin Yanks with old John Boy and Jake. Talkin Yanks with old John Boy and Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin Yanks. Thank you very much for joining today. My name is Jimmy, BBD behind the corner. Jake is still on vacation, excusing people all across Europe. We've got a ton of topics. Awards. We got to go through some of those. Yankees signed Yarbrough. Should they sign some of these Japanese players that are coming over? We're going to talk to the newest member of John Boy Media at the back end of the show. Just a ton of little things to go over. Beebs, have you ever seen Eurotrip, the movie?
I don't think I have.
It predates you, but you should watch it if you're having a silly movie night.
It's one of those that I think there's similar movies I've seen. I think of that the same way I think of the Chevy Chase movies. Vacation.
Oh yeah, they're
in my head they're similar. I have no idea if
they're like 20 years apart. I think.
Yes.
Eurotrip has Fred Armisen plays a character in it who just rubs up on people on the train. Goes, "Mi scusi."
Now your earlier joke is funnier to me.
Yes, I thought I would get you with that one. I realized you hadn't seen it. Because Jake just going around miscusing people. It's just, miscusi. It's pretty funny. Okay, let's get right into it. Use code Yanks2025 at SeatGeek for 10% off any ticket. Go to see the ballet, go to see the theater, go to see a concert, go to see some winter sports. Whatever you want to do, Yanks2025 is still active, and you get 10% off any tickets with promo code Yanks2025 at SeatGeek. All right? I think I'm going to see the Rockettes this year. I haven't seen them since I was a little kid, but I used to love going as a little boy and just getting a crush on the dancers. And I think James, he's 4, but he gets crushes now. He gets very shy, so I'm excited to watch him have the same experience.
It might be time.
Yeah. All right. If you did not know, if you are somewhere where you get no internet, but somehow these episodes come through to you, like maybe you're in a prison and you just have a checklist of this is the media I want this week. And so we're your source of news. Judge won the MVP. Heard it here first to all the prisoners out there that get one source of media, and they chose Talkin Yanks. He got 17 of the 31st place votes. He did not get a vote from one of the New York voters. I'm not trying to vote shame anyone. That's always something I look for, is because any of the smaller markets, their people vote for them. And that's the difference of when they say it's tougher in New York. It's in the post game, when I lived in San Francisco back then, it might be different now. All the beat reporters that covered the Giants and the A's, they were trying to write good stories about the Giants and A's. And give the players love.
Voting comes up and tiebreaker goes to their guy.
And in New York, the beat reporters are trying to get a different story or something because there's so many people. You can't just be nice all the time. I really realize the differences. And maybe that guy from New York is covers the Mets. I don't know. I don't even want to say his name because I'm not trying to shame anyone. But I always find it funny that it's not guaranteed you get votes from your own city in New York. Probably other places too.
Yeah, both Seattle representatives went Raleigh.
They did? Are you still looking at it?
Yes, I'm looking at it.
Yeah, I always find that funny. I said this on Talking Baseball with Trev, if the MVP voting was not who had the best statistical season, which is what it is, because that's what they've decided they want it to be. Since 1988, when Gibson won it with the Dodgers, I asked Sirocco to look at those numbers. Have you ever seen those numbers?
I've looked at some old MVP
when
stuff,
Gibson won it, let me see if I can find it. Kyle Gibson. No, Kirk. I clicked Kyle again. He was not the best statistical player, but they basically voted If without him, it would have been brutal.
Yeah, there's
Strawberry. I don't know, they also hated Strawberry, and I guess they hated the Mets because Strawberry and Kevin McReynolds. Strawberry outslugged him, out-homered him, had a higher OPS than him, had more at-bats. Wow.
There's an older sports writer. He just made a TikTok kind of about this that came up. I'm blanking on who it is so I won't be crediting him correctly. But he was talking about how, like, yeah, awards used to be a little more fun because there'd be, like, surprises. But in social media era, everybody kind of talks about it all leading up, and we all sort of know who the best player was, and you can get pretty directly shamed for voting wrong.
I think WAR is on its way out. Not on its way out, but on, like, I think in the last 3 years, it was the end-all, be-all, and we had total, like, agreeance. But this was the first year that I listened to other shows or heard people being kind of, like, questioning, like, but that doesn't make sense.
It should be a nuanced thing. It
should be a nuanced stat, not, like, an end-all, be-all. So hopefully. Yeah. And then I was reading about how, like, when holds became a stat, relievers started getting all these awards. And like saves, and we had like relievers getting like MVP votes and Cy Young votes, and then people were like just kind of like we're like, all right, guys, like this, let's go back to being
get
normal.
over it.
Yeah, so maybe, but
on WAR, the way I saw an article write it this year that like I've liked the phrasing I've been using since was just WAR is more like directional. It's like a compass, like. Use it as like a general area.
Yeah.
But
I think I personally only use it position to position.
Yeah.
Like to compare shortstop to shortstops or outfielders to outfielders because you just get helped out by the position you play, even if you're bad at that position defensively. But my point is, I think if that's how the award was voted on, there's a much greater argument for Cal. It's still close, but like, you know, a catcher helps every single pitch. They are involved in so much. Like the amount of chances they get to win a game is incredible. Help you win a game. But Judge has his 4 at-bats and a couple plays in right field. But I mean, even statistically. And then if you look at like milestones, like most home runs by a catcher, like I've never really heard that said that much. When Salvi did it, it wasn't like he should win MVP. He was like, wow, this is amazing. It's like most home runs by third baseman. You don't hear that. But so I'm out on that argument for Cal, but I'm totally in on the catcher behind the dish helps so much, way more. Like he can affect his team's games more than Judge could in a way. I believe that. But the stat that like CC tweeted and that I realized halfway through the season talking to Jake is like, wait, Judge is gonna hit 50 home runs and be the batting champ.
Yeah.
Which has never been done before. And like that is otherworldly to have those two skills to that level. So congrats to the voters for not making me very mad. I haven't gotten mad about MVP votes because and all those votes, I put less stock in them since Altuve beat Judge. I kind of became none. If Shohei beat him, I would have been mad too. But I had some emotions on the line here of anger towards the voters if they didn't vote for Judge.
Yeah. I wonder how different it would have felt or people might have voted if Judge had gotten the one in 17 that he like should have, and he already had 3 in the bank. And because like 3 MVPs is like a bit of a line in the sand for people that like after that, maybe it wouldn't be like, oh, you got to give it to Judge. It'd be like, what's the difference between 4 and 3 really? I don't know.
It's crazy. I mean, go look at Judge's baseball reference now because it is, my goodness. He didn't get to 10 WAR this year, which I was really wanted him to. He got 9.7 on B-WAR, and because it's hard to have back-to-back seasons of 10 WAR, and it was very small number of players that have done it, and I really wanted him. But my goodness, I mean, so out of the last 4 years, he's won MVP 3 times. The time he didn't win, he got hurt. Only played 106 games. His numbers were pretty good. His batting average keeps getting higher. Insane. Just insane. I mean, insane what we're seeing. Crazy. Congrats to him. All right. On the award front, Max Fried finished 4th in Cy Young voting, 6 third-place votes, 20 fourth-place votes, 3 fifth-place votes. That section in the middle of the season hurt him. Carlos Rodon finished 6th in Cy Young voting, 2 fourth-place votes. All right.
The other Yanks that got votes.
Yeah. I know. It's just like we're voting for too many people. Boone did not receive any Manager of the Year votes.
Yeah.
I find that a little odd, to be honest. Do Manager of the Year get the same like amount of like
not
ancillary?
as many, it's not as like long a list.
Not as many like random ass votes.
I think they only vote top 3.
Okay.
And it kind of has become just a small market award.
If
but there's an argument for Boone to get some.
If
like
the
they lost
Yankees,
Soto, all that.
if the Yankees beat the Blue Jays, they would have had home field advantage against the Dodgers in the World Series because they had the best record in the AL. The only NL team that had a better record was the Brewers, right?
Yeah.
Yankees had the second best record.
Yeah, because they finished tied with the best record in the
And it's
AL.
not like he had scrubs, but he did have to manage this year more than he's had to in the past. With the outfielder situation, with the catcher situation, with Rice, like he did have to, and with the bullpen just stinking. He made some tough moves, I think, and he agrees that he probably took too long to make them. I thought someone would have thrown a vote or two his way, but I don't really care. And then Rookie of the Year, Will Warren got 8th place. Jesus.
They lengthened Rookie of the Year ballots this year. It used to also be a 3, I think, and this year they went to 5.
And Jason Dominguez got a 5th place vote from Houston writer Allison Footer. So thank you to Allison Footer. What were you watching? Did he have does she just remember his home run?
Maybe, yeah. I guess it's more commentary and just like, oh, hard to think of 5 good rookies sometimes. Being rookies
I mean, that's
hard.
awesome. Maybe she just gave a vote to every rookie. Did he have really good series in Houston again?
I don't remember him having a specifically good Houston series.
It was
but
when
he had. It's not like he had a disaster season. We're disappointed. And more on him later, perhaps. But
they played in Houston when that umpire decided to hate the Yankees. Remember? We were in Barbados. Houston. No, he had 3 at-bats and no hits. So maybe she's thanking him for that?
maybe.
Well, congrats on getting the vote, Jason. He went hitless against the Astros in 6 games, 7 plate appearances. But, I mean, awesome. Thank you to Allison.
Played the whole year.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, are you a man? Do you know a man? Do they need to, or do you need to improve your skincare routine? Well, that's where Caldera Lab comes in. They've redefined men's skincare by combining advanced science with high-quality, non-toxic ingredients to create a simple, effective routine that actually works. Each product, like the Good, the Eye Serum, the Base Layer, is formulated to support skin health and improve the look and feel of your skin. In a consumer study, men who used Caldera Labs products reported noticeable improvements. 100% said their skin looked smoother and healthier. 96.9% saw an improvement in skin hydration and texture, and 93.8% said their skin had a more youthful appearance. Skincare doesn't have to be complicated, but it should be good. Upgrade your routine with Caldera Lab and see the difference for yourself. Go to calderalab.com/Yanks and use code Yanks at checkout for 15% off your first order. The Yankees made their first signing of the winter. Start again. The Yankees made their first signing of the winter. Ryan Yarbrough, come on down. Re-signed by the Yankees to a major league deal. 1 year, $2.5 million contract. He can earn another $250 in performance bonuses, so it's up to $2.75 million total. His contract last year was $2 million with up to $250 in unreported incentives, so it seems like it might be the same contract with extra $500K guaranteed on top. I think he liked being a Yankee. The Yankees wanted him, didn't get him last year. He went to the Blue Jays and then didn't make camp from the Blue Jays, and the Yankees picked him up. But he did spring training with the Blue Jays, which was interesting because we heard last winter that they liked him so much that they told him, we want you. And I think he had seen and talked to some Yankees about what Matt Blake and Cole were doing with people and really was interested in coming to the Yankees. And, I mean, he saved a good stretch of the season there before he got hurt. I mean, he had some absolute crazy outings. Even when Heel came back, that outing in, was it Boston when Heel couldn't last long, or was that Toronto? and then he went. I think it was Toronto. He went 5 innings out of the bullpen. So I like having a swingman, a guy that can step up and start, guy that can be a reliever. He'll probably end up starting a lot of games because relievers always get hurt. I don't think this is indicative of any other move because I feel like they feel comfortable putting him in the bullpen. If he does have to be their spot start at the beginning of the year, they feel comfortable there. I think it's just a nice major league arm to rely on, which I am in support of. Like, I don't want to rely on a rookie to do this role because you don't know. But we know Yarbrough can do this role. He's a big leaguer who's done it for, 8 years now?
Yeah, I think this is the 8th season he's going to be part of.
Look at me go. And I like Yarby and that funk that he's got. So, yeah, no one should really have a reaction to this besides like, oh, okay, good.
Yeah, not an amount of money that if it goes bad, they can't DFA, shouldn't get in the way of them getting another starter. As I think everybody listening to the show would agree, they want them to go get a starter better than this.
Yeah. It depends on when Fried or when Cole and Rodon are going to come back. Like, if they're going to come back in May and you need 4 to 5 starts and you trust them, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I want them to do a bunch of other stuff. But Yarby right now would be the 5th starter. It would be Max Fried, Cam Schlittler, Luis Heel, Will Warren, Ryan Yarbrough would be the rotation out of camp. That's not going to be the case because someone gets hurt in camp always.
Yeah, even if you think that's good, and because one of them, Cole Rodon, will be back May 1st or whatever, and you can get through it, someone will get hurt.
Yeah,
you have to prepare like somebody will get hurt. So you'd think at minimum they need another Yarby minimum.
Yeah, or a veteran guy on a 1-year deal, something like that. So congrats to Ryan Yarbrough. No one had him on their plans. Maybe I should have. Next up, we've got the Trent Grisham announcement is happening today, right?
Yeah, I believe 4 p.m. today is we'll get the tweet of all the guys who did or didn't accept. Sounds like he will be declining, but we'll find out for sure then.
So if you're listening to this after 4 p.m., here's my reaction if he doesn't accept. Okay, hopefully the draft pick doesn't hinder Trent that much. He goes and gets his money from a team where he's going to play, be happy, and get a chance to, earn his living. A lot of these players have long lives afterwards, and this is their chance to cash in. So go get that money, Trent. And here's my reaction if he does accept the qualifying offer. Oh, this hamstrings the Yankees. If Hal really wants to stay around the 300, 310 mark, he's going to be their center fielder and leadoff guy, which is good if he can do what he did last year, but it kind of feels like an outlier season to just bank on it happening again. Does this hinder Belly? Starter? I don't think you can pay Trent 20, Belly what he's going to get, starter, infielder. So, wow, okay. I don't know if the Yankees really wanted him to accept.
Yeah, hope if he accepted, hopefully Yankees are willing to get back closer to like 320 where they've been the last couple of years than lower. For what it's worth, I think Cashman and Boris both had quotes saying they don't think it would affect him, but why would either of them say otherwise, affecting their ability to keep Belly or do other things?
Yeah.
I'll choose to believe them on future episodes, but why would they say otherwise?
In other news, the Yankees added Kevin Castro.
Even weirder, Curvin Castro.
Okay. I was going to say I saw Curvin Castro to their 40-man roster. He is a pitcher from Venezuela, signed by the Giants as an international free agent in 2015. And then the Yankees picked him up in Rule 5 last year, knowing he was going to be hurt for 2024.
2023, they got him in the minor league Rule 5, knowing he'd be hurt, stashed him.
And then he pitched last year, Curvin Castro. Interesting. He pitched last year in Scranton Wilkes-Barre. So this could be a guy like a Johnny Loizaga who kind of bounced around like this. Rule 5 picks, hurt. They banked on him. He got some outings out of him. Could be nothing. I guess they thought he was going to get scooped up.
He would have been a minor league free agent and they're like eligible to sign with whoever if they didn't add him. So they decided to keep him around. Maybe they think he's this year's Yeri. Maybe they will just include him in a trade next week, and sure.
He's 6'185", according to this. February 7th birthday, so he will be 27 by the time the season starts. I mean, he had a really good year out of the bullpen for the Miners. I don't know if you need to remember this name, but you will remember it because it's Curvin.
If he survives the spring training, he'll probably pitch in a major league game at some point next year, and he can come back to this episode.
He was a catcher converted to pitching.
It's fun.
Yeah, interesting. So they saved him. Okay, I don't know if you need to know that, but now you know that.
Something they did.
Yeah, he's not a flamethrower, so I'm not that into it. Low mid-90s, four-seam and cutter, mid-80s sweeper. Sounds like Will
Sounds
Warren.
like an up and down arm.
Sounds like Will Warren. So Rule 5 protection is also tonight at 6 p.m. TJ Rumfield came up on all my. I did a Fangraphs report. I built a Fangraphs report based off the Yankee Way book, which said they want their. What is it? They want their minor leaguers to have an on-base percentage of.
Oh yeah,
360.
Something like that.
I'll find it right now. Okay, so they want the minor leaguer to have, this is what they used to do at least, a 360 on base percentage as a standard in the minors, thinking that they're going to lose 25 points in the bigs and it would get down to 335. And then for power, they want a 420 slug as a cutoff because they get bigger, stronger, and doubles become homers. So I did a report because I was looking at quadruple A minor leaguers or just minor leaguers that the Yankees should go after. And Rumfield came up in it. I wonder if I can find this spreadsheet. Because I also cut it down. Yeah, here it is. I also toggled it down by K percentage. I wanted the walk percentage to be higher than the K percentage. So if I did filter by condition is greater than 359 for on base, and slugging is greater than 420. I said 419. And then I wanted their K percentage to be higher than or whatever it was. Yeah, this is something I did, and Rumfield came up. So, he's kind of got the formula. I think he's kind of blocked, and he's old, and they trade away guys that have this formula, so.
Yeah, they didn't protect him in the Rule 5 last year, and he didn't get taken, but another year older, I guess, would make him more likely for somebody to think he can last on their major league roster.
First baseman, so he's got, he's not fast, 30 speed. He had a 374 on base percentage in minors last year and a 438 slug. So he fits the bill there. And then he had a 19%. His K percentage was 19. His walk was 12, which isn't terrible, I guess. I was interested. I was surprised he came up.
Yeah, a guy they already have.
Yeah, Spencer Jones also came up, but his K percentage, walk percentage is not.
And real prospect.
And a real prospect. Yeah, I was trying to find diamonds in the rough. Basically, this formula, every guy I clicked on, some were top prospects, which makes sense, like the Detroit shortstop, who's got the fun name, McGingle.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about? It's McDongle
yes,
or something.
I feel like they have a couple names kind of like that.
McGonigal.
Yes.
He came up, a lot of prospects. Tommy Troy, he's a top prospect. Or he's not. But they were all short. Basically, it's a short person formula. You don't strike out. So anyway, they could protect Rumfield. They could not. We shall see.
They will protect Spencer Jones and Elmer Rodriguez. Supposedly no more Rodriguez Cruz. He's just Rodriguez now.
Wow.
So that's almost the biggest news here. Those two I know they'll protect. No clue after that.
Okay. Next up. Yankees promoted Dan Fiorito to first base coach. I believe this guy, and K-Mac, who does Warehouse Games with us, said he's the man, like loves him. He said, I believe he had a similar path that Chapman had. Like, I think Chapman was through the org, through the system. He played third base, first base, shortstop, so he was an infielder in the Yankees org. So this guy's been with the Yankees since he was 20 years old. He got, what did he get, drafted or he just joined? He went to Fordham Preparatory High School in Manhattanville. Okay, so this is like a local kid. This is like a Volpe story if he's a coach and not great. And yeah, again, according to, K-Mac, who we know, players like him, love him. And he's been with coaching down there. He coached Volpe, Dominguez, all the Will Warren Wells at different points. So he'll also take on the outfield, infield coordination. He was that in minor, so he'll be the infield coach.
Yes. His title and job description seems to be matching what Travis Chapman was doing, which makes sense because I think everybody else besides the people we talked about stayed. So
he is, everyone besides bullpen coach. They haven't announced that right yet.
They haven't announced it, but it sounded like either Claiborne or they got Desi Drushell back. One of them will be the bullpen coach. One of them will be assistant pitching coach.
Oh my God.
I don't think they said which one's going to do which.
So this website that gives you the profiles on every player. It's kind of like it's behind a paywall, so it usually has amazing info on everyone. Like any player has like tons of anytime they've been quoted or their coach have been quoted, just tons of info. I went to Fiorito. Is that how you say it? Fiorito? And Fiorito?
Yeah.
Fiorito? Sometimes they just blend it all together. Anyway, I went to his page to see if they had some fun insight. And this is all it says. Well, first, this is how they say you pronounce it. PronounceNames.com. Good website. Fiorito. Okay.
Sure.
This is what they say about him. Batting, 1 bullet point. Fiorito is an impressive hitter. Fielding, 1 bullet point. Dan is a very good third baseman with a strong and accurate arm for the throws across the diamond. Running, nothing. No bullet points. Post-career positions. 2020, Dan managed the Staten Island Yankees. Career injury report. July 16th, 2016, Fiorito was on the DL with an injured left elbow. So that's all they got on him. That's all I've got on him. Okay. Quick break, and then we're going to talk about these Japanese stars. Hey, this episode of Talkin Yanks that you're listening to right now is brought to you by DraftKings. They are our partners, and they have sponsored this episode. And in a few weeks, the NBA season is going to be even more wild than it is now. NFL's going on. They've got a ton for you to get in the action on. They are the official sports betting partner of the NBA, where you can find whatever you want. New customers, bet just $5 and get $200 if your bet wins, paid in bonus bets. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code JMBaseball. That's code JMBaseball to get $200 in bonus bets instantly if your first $5 bet hits. Plus 3 months of NBA League Pass no matter what. Wow! In partnership with DraftKings. The crown is Jake's. Let's talk about some of the Japanese players that are being posted if they're fits on the Yankees. First up, Munetaka Murakami. Hope I said that right. Murakami. He's the third base, first base, lefty power bat. I believe he's shorter. I remember him from the last World Baseball Classic. I remember saying, wow, I'd love to get this guy in the Bronx. I don't know anymore. It seems like he's going to get good money. He's 25 years old. The Athletic is projecting to get 8 years, $158.5 million, which the AAV on that is
158.5 divided by 8 would be 19.8.
Oh, that's not that expensive. But okay. But he doesn't really have a position, they say. Like, is this a scout's quote you have at the bottom? I just want to make sure I say it. This scout said, I think he'd be an interesting fit for the Yankees, given their short porch there. But you got to play him somewhere. Okay, so that's like everyone that's a lefty. Another scout said, I don't think his offense is going to be able to make up for his defensive issues. I don't think third is a realistic position in the big leagues. I think first is going to be a work in progress. I don't see left field being realistic. Kind of sounds like a Kyle Schwarber type, and it took a while for Schwarber to land somewhere. He's DH now. But, like, is this guy going to land at DH in a couple of years? You can play first. Who knows? The scouting of Japanese players has gotten a lot better in the past. Like, it's not so much an unknown where we're just kind of guessing. But I don't know. I just don't feel like I'd wish he fit. I wish he was a stud at first or third. But he also is kind of a power bat swing and miss guy. He had a high strikeout percentage and didn't fare well against secondary pitches. And the MLB's secondary pitches are just otherworldly compared to other leagues. Like, that's the reports. There's velo, and it's just a big jump. Say from AAA to the bigs is the biggest jump, and then the same from these other leagues. So, I don't know. I don't see that happening. There's another first base, third base guy who's older, Kazuma Okamoto. That's fun. Kazuma or Kazuma? Kazuma Okamoto.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kazuma Okamoto is probably how I'd say it. Okamoto, I feel good about.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, all the countries that use the English letters, it's phonetic.
Yeah, it comes out pretty
Because
as you read
imagine if they made it not phonetic. It's not even how you spell it in their
Wouldn't
language.
stand a chance.
It's the different characters, you know? The Athletic is breaking 4 years, $78 million, which is what, like $18 million a year?
Yeah, but kind of the same per year, about 18, 19.
So less years because he's older. All right. He's not been posted yet. He missed a chunk of time with an elbow injury after a collision. He's a right-handed hitter, corner infielder, could be a platoon for Rice or McMahon. Has played corner positions before, but not much. 9 career starts in the outfield. Nice to know he has that in his history, though. If he's a first baseman, the expectation is he can be a plus defender at first as he continues to increase time played there, as he's done over the last few years. 6 seasons with 30 homers or more in NPB. Not a big strikeout guy. 90% in-zone contact rate, 84% contact rate against 94. My thing on the Yankees is they've never gone, besides Kiyagawa, who was the biggest mistake they've ever done, they've never gotten like the second when it comes to Japanese stars. It's either they go after the top dog or they just don't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people thought like the Orioles pitcher that might have been a good fit as a
Sagano.
Yeah, as like a small replacement. I remember Yankee source kind of saying that. I think Shota, people were interested. The Yankees' history is kind of like we get the number one of this year or we're just out, is what it's been, if I'm remembering correctly.
In my mental history, they haven't pursued that many of the next tier guys, and maybe that's an unfair characteristic of him. Like, he's a guy who is an MVP candidate in Japan, and that alone might rule him out for the Yankees, just because, like, why would he come here and pick a team that's not going to promise him everyday run? Even if the Yankees were good at this price point, knew exactly how they want to use him, or fine with giving him third base at bats, all of that.
Yeah, because the thing is, for a long time, pitchers come out of Japan, but it's hard to find hitters that can make the jump in time. We've had much more recent success with Yoshida, Suzuki, and obviously Ohtani. I don't even know if Ohtani counts because he's just such an outlier. But, Suzuki's got 3 seasons under his belt with a career 18 OPS. Yoshida's got a career 762, but he's a great batting average guy. But besides that, I mean, even if you look at, like, plate appearances recently, Jung-Hoo Lee is on there, but he's not really. I don't know. You wouldn't pay big money. I forget if he got big money, but like looking at his stats now, you wouldn't.
Yeah, he got close to, if not $100 million, out of Korea.
He was born in Japan, and then came out of Korea, I guess, because this is birthplace Japan. Ooh. Yeah, Nori Aoki. I mean, he's kind of like a good bat, but not big money, and you got to pay big money for these guys.
Okamoto is one that, like, online people are like, "Ooh, would love for the Yankees to get him," and like, obviously would love him, like, as a As described, great fit, but at the contract he's gonna get and role and what does he want?
I'm gonna watch some highlights of him hitting.
Watch a little bit of them.
Okay. Demolishes 3-run home run against Team Italy. Otani's on second. Wow. What? It's one-handed swing. Okay. That doesn't count. That was a 78-mile-per-hour pitch. Like 78-mile-per-hour fastball.
I have it on screen now.
Okay. Yeah. I needed to find not a Team Italy highlight. Whatever. We can move on. He's got a lot going on in that swing. But I watched one swing. And I am not an expert in any way. I just don't think they're going to get him. Be cool if they did and it wasn't costly and he's like a platoon guy, but then they got to move because they have so many platoon, non-costly extra pieces right now. The one that I know Dan Rourke has in his plans and people are excited about is the pitcher, Tatsuya Imai. How do you say his last name?
Imai, I believe, is how I've heard the last name pronounced most often.
And you have a video to watch. Athletic is saying he's going to get 8 years, $190 million, which is 23 AAV. I mean, that's big money for a pitcher. I don't know if they're going to do that, but people think they will.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, who knows what the Yankees' appetite is? But if you're getting a guy who you think has high-end upside and is just a little older, so that's how you get the discount. A little older being he's 27 right now, not 25. You'd still get his ages. 28 to 32 that you want.
Can he bring his workout guy with him? Did you see all those videos of the Dodgers? Yamamoto brought his like workout guy with him, and all the Dodgers now do all of his workouts, like the kinetic movement and like it's like, whoa.
Yes, I saw like they had like the reel during the World Series, like showing some of it.
Yeah, they're all doing the workouts that they do in Japan for
seems to be working.
Balance and velo and torque and all that. Okay. It's a four-seam fastball with ride. Kind of got that Shota lower arm slot, but a righty. How tall is this kid?
I think he's got Yamamoto beat, but I think he's still under 6 feet.
Wow. Nice play by Trevor Plouffe, falling down on third base. I was laughing. Okay.
People, I think, really like his intensity and personality on the mound.
I've seen 3 pitches, and I also like his intensity and personality. I like that delivery. All right. Well, defense helping him out. I mean, that's a nice fastball if you can spot that. I feel like that's got that low release point, average. What's the leverage index that all the nerds like now? Jolly and Foolish are always talking about it. And I say nerds lovingly because I wish I understood
complimentary.
Obviously fields his position like a dog. That was awesome. Oh, yeah, I like this guy. That was, show that pitch again. That was a splitter or some breaking ball. Got the ground ball on it. All right, cool. Pick him up. It's a lot of money. I don't know how they fit that into the plans, but if they're going to raise the payroll, that's awesome.
And, like, sure, if they need a pitcher, might as well get a guy who has good upside and might be good enough to be in a playoff game and all that. Like, no need to mess around.
5'11", 154, they say. Can hit 99. Fastball sits 95. Demonstrated MLB starter quality stamina and strike throwing for the last several seasons, and he could conceivably take another step forward if even one aspect of his delivery can be polished. All right. Dude, I would love to have a Japanese player again. It's fun to have that fan base involved, to have the different, like, I just like culturally in the dugout. Like, I loved when Tanaka was around or Matsui was around or Kuroda, and it's just like, there's just like different energy. Remember like the buddy cop of Luis Severino and Masahiro Tanaka? Like that was so fun. And you just learn from each other and all that. So I would be excited, I guess.
It'd be very
be excited that the Yankees are going and getting guys. I would hope that I would trust them that they're getting good guys. They just fired their international scout.
Yes, who that was more about like his
Young kids.
not,
scouting?
it wasn't like their Japanese scouting, but
Okay.
that's like their like the international amateur scouting. Because they whiffed on a couple of the ones where they used their whole bonus pool on a guy that hasn't worked out. Yeah, Imai's being posted tomorrow, so starting tomorrow he might sign.
Imai, is that how you say it?
I feel pretty good about Imai. First name I haven't gotten to hear said by somebody else yet.
Imai. Okay.
He's cut his walks down. There's
Pick him
a
up.
group of teams in. Oh, he had a quote people were into. I think right after the World Series, they asked him about Yamamoto and stuff, and I'm gonna butcher it, but the sentiment was like, "Well, this is no time to be impressed. I'm trying to be the best I can be, and I want to be the best pitcher."
Oh, was this the guy that said he's getting bored of the NPB because
I think
no
so.
one's
Oh, like nobody hits homers off.
nobody hits homers there, and like
That was
so
him.
like the NPB is like basically his quote was around the lines of like, no one's trying to battle me anymore. They just try to like bunt and run or slap singles because they don't want to like.
They don't think they.
And
can
maybe
hit
not
a
him
homer
personally,
off me.
but in the whole league, it's more small ball, and he wants to go where guys are trying to like battle him. It was a good quote. It led to like, oh, this guy wants to fucking compete.
the attitude you like to hear.
Yeah. So I'm in on that. All right, the full quote, because I didn't want to butcher it. I didn't always dream of going to Major League Baseball, but over the past 2 or 3 years, I felt like there weren't many hitters who were even trying to hit a homer off me anymore. A lot of lineups would just foul pitches off and run up my pitch count. I get that's a valid part of strategy, but if I were a fan, I don't think that kind of baseball is very fun to watch. Personally, I love power versus power matchups. Now, as a fan of a team that I want to win, I'd say I wish the Yankees did that more against dominant pitchers. But as a fan of competitors, I like that attitude.
Yeah.
But if we're facing him in the future and he's dominating, I wouldn't mind being like, well, let's just run his pitch count up and like hit some singles and get him the fuck out of here.
It's similar to what he said. I get the strategy.
Yeah. All right. That ends that section of the show. And now it's time to bring in the most recent hire to John Boy Media. I am wearing my Cam Schlittler shirt. It's one of my favorite shirts. The Slash Line merch team produced this year. It's Cam Schlittler. It's Statue of Liberty. It's everything that's great. We've got tons of shirts. Slash Line is the name of our merch store. They're crushing it. We are doing awesome stuff. So go check it out. You can find your favorite team, your favorite player, your favorite moment, or your favorite brand. Click the link in the description and shop now. Okay, welcome to the show. Newest John Boy Media hire, taking over all of our cricket coverage. Not first international hire. Peter Moylan exists. Come on.
Come
Jimmy,
on.
And a bunch of others. But Adam Bannon here looks like me as well. We just deadpan, take the glasses
off. I just
off.
do this.
If we take the hat off, how different can we get? Okay. That's different.
That's different.
So
There was a day last week where you guys had the same
Look.
hat, sweatshirt on.
we all of a sudden we don't look that alike, but we're always wearing the same. We're always wearing hats, and yeah, one day we had the same exact outfit on, and it was crazy.
There we go.
And my glasses are the same glasses.
Really?
I just wear contacts.
Okay. Yeah, no, I can't do the contacts. Got to keep the glasses on.
So, you are hosting a new podcast brand with John Boy Media called That's Cricket. We got the hats on with Liam.
That's cricket. Yes.
It's a lot like the formula of our MLB show. I keep saying where Liam is Trevor Plouffe, and you look like me.
Yes.
Have the energy of Jake.
Yes. I like that.
That's how I've been pitching it.
I like that.
It's a good combination.
I like that.
So for any baseball fan out there that doesn't love football, doesn't love basketball, kind of like me, and just wants to watch something in the winter, I've been trying for years.
Yeah.
But we are diving deep into the Ashes coverage this year.
Yes.
Starts in 2 days. I'll be joining you on the live stream.
Yes.
And we're going to play a game where I give you Yankees greats or Yankees players, and you tell us the Australian equivalent of them.
Yeah, Australian equivalent. I went old time, maybe old time cricketers. We'll see. I'll get you Australian. I'll get you some Australian guys.
Oh yeah, you can do any all
Okay.
time if
Yeah.
you want. But first, how do you find baseball? So you watching the World Series?
Yes.
Because we're asking baseball fans to watch cricket.
Yes.
But have you started watching baseball?
So my first ever induction into baseball was the 2015 Mets.
Oh, okay.
That was my first time ever watching baseball. So that was a good year to watch baseball.
Yeah.
Maybe not for you, but I mean, for Mets and Mets they went to the postseason. They won the pennant.
That was a fun, at that point in my life, I was rooting for those Mets.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I mean, that's how I learned. So I learned when I first came to America, my family at the time, they were all in on the Mets. And I was like, okay, we're going to watch this season. And that's when I learned everything about baseball happened through that season.
Yeah.
Then now following along, postseason here, it's exciting. Like I was dialed in for the World Series, and I'm loving it. Like cricket, I don't think maybe the Americans audience doesn't know this, but baseball came from cricket. The founding fathers played cricket. We were technically British before it was like fully American. Revolutionary War kind of got rid of cricket because one of the things that makes cricket hard is you need to play on a pitch.
Yes.
And so during the war or whatever, it's hard to set up a ground and bounce the ball. It's much easier to throw the bases down and just hit and then run to the base. It's a lot easier it's an easier game to play from logistically. So eventually cricket kind of got worn away from American and it became baseball. And now Americans kind of forget that it really was here. The first international game ever was USA-Canada.
Yes. Well, the history is even more than that, which is why baseball and cricket hate each other. The U.S. promoted baseball as the national game because they were like, fuck you to England.
Yes.
Because what's the saying they always say about cricket that the English used cricket as a test of civility or like a lesson in civility, something like that, like all the places they colonized.
Yes.
And the U.S., when they got their freedom, basically were like, fuck you.
Yes.
Which is why baseball, especially when it started, was drinking, swearing, fighting, yelling at umpires. It was ungentlemanly because cricket was the civilized, gentlemanly sport.
We play cricket. It's a civilized game.
But still, in cricket, you don't have any managers getting ejected. You don't argue with the...
Oh, no. It's very big. You can't argue with the umpire. That's like so not...
To the point where like it doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen. No, it doesn't happen at all.
Like I don't even know what the ramifications. Can you get ejected from a match? Surely you can.
You probably, big fines. Even to the point, like in baseball, if you turn around and it's like, even if you like gave that gesture of like that was a bad call.
Yeah.
In cricket, they would like fines.
Yeah.
Like even getting a match ban just for like even making a gesture that the umpire got it wrong.
You can overrule the umpire in cricket.
Oh yeah, now so with DRS now you can go for the review.
So that's their review system.
Yeah,
but if I'm bowling and the umpire calls out, right?
Yep.
Like the batter's out, but I think that there was some circumstance that wasn't right, or like I think they're out of reviews.
Yes.
The other team's out of reviews, and in my head, I know the umpire got it wrong.
Yeah.
The players can just be like, "No, come back, dude."
Yeah.
Fuck the ump. You can't do that. You cannot overrule the officials in U.S. sports.
In baseball. I think I saw one of your videos where you talked about like the guy touched his hand, hit the stumps, and he walked himself off. And then in baseball, if you thought that you were out at home plate or out at first base and the umpire called you safe, you're not just going to walk off.
Yeah.
The umpire would say, "Get back." You say, "Get back here, son."
Yeah. So in the World Series, Bo Bichette thought the umpire called ball 4, so he started walking to second. The umpire didn't call ball 4; he called it strike 2. So the Dodgers threw and got Bo out because he was confused. In cricket, they would not have done that.
It wouldn't happen.
And
at
it's
all.
bizarre. So some people might think that's lame if they love like the fucking like grit. I that's the biggest difference. Otherwise, there's so many similarities.
So many similarities.
And I will say, 9 innings of baseball is way in ebbs and flows and sport. It's way more similar to the test match than the shorter versions of cricket.
Yeah.
I do not think baseball fans will translate to the shorter version first.
You reckon?
I think T20 teaches you the basics of the game.
Yeah.
But the ebbs and flows of a test match are way more similar to the ebbs and flows of a 9-inning baseball game.
Yeah, I like to think about it like if you were to explain a test match like it's a World Series with like the Masters or the Ryder Cup kind of aspect. Like you're investing in 4 days of watching the same teams play each other.
Yeah, it's the Masters.
And it's going to go up and down. You know, day 1, you got to leave. But day 2, you give it up. And then you get it back on day 3. All comes down to the final day. That's kind of the vibe.
Yeah, I always say it's like the Masters because like 4 days or 5 days. I'm like, yeah, but you don't have to be like eagle-eyed tuned in. I think like in Australia, England, when it's your summer, it's a lot of you watch the first hour, see what is going on, see if there's some big wickets. And then as the game settles in, You mow the lawn.
Yes.
You do the chores.
Yes.
It's on the TV in the background, which is like the Masters. And then,
Yeah.
okay, now like Tiger's at Amen Corner. He might be able to get some birdies here. So you sit down because you know this is a time I'm
Yes.
going to tune in. And then, okay, he's on 17, 18, day 2, whatever. I'll just look at the score of what he shot there. That's what it is to me.
Exactly.
Especially when it's in Australia because it starts at 9:30. So we'll be able to watch the first 2 hours. And we'll be live streaming.
Yes.
If you want to tune in and watch with us. With Liam, who won a World Cup for England.
Yes.
And you are Australian,
Yes.
super fan. I root Australia more than England, but I can just stay in the middle.
Stay neutral.
Yeah. But I do think by the end of a test match, if you are invested, if you watch, you walk away, especially good test match, like, holy smokes, like, you can't sum up the amount of storylines and matchups.
The pinnacle of what you want for the final day is the team that's bowling needs like 3 wickets in the last hour of play.
Yeah.
The team that's batting has their tail enders, like just trying to defend the day out. Everyone's crowding the bat. Like everyone is within 6 feet, 8 feet of the batter, just hovering. You're just waiting for the edge, waiting for the ball to pop up for a catch. And then you're like watching the clock. Because it goes by time, and then it goes by, they'll give you a little bit of extra time if there's like less than a few wickets remaining.
Yeah. And when you explain that, it sounds so boring, but when you watch it, it's thrilling because basically, if you do not know, you cannot win the match unless you get, in baseball, I'm going to use baseball speak, it's 2 innings. So you bowl, then you bat, then you bowl, then you bat. 2 innings. So you get 2 chances to pitch and 2 chances to hit. But the way it works is each batter hits until he's out, and they do not have to run. So if they put the ball in play and there's nothing going on, like they don't want to risk it, they just stay still. Yeah. They don't, if they swing and miss, it doesn't matter. The only way you get out is you hit it in the air and they catch it. You choose to run, they throw you out, or the bowler hits the stumps with the ball and like that's like you're done. Yeah. So you have to get the other team out 20 times.
Yeah, 20 wickets
to win.
Yes.
So what teams that are down big will do is they'll just be like, well, fuck that. We know we can't win, but we're not going to let you win. And they play for the tie. They play for the draw, which sounds so boring and like un-American in ways. But it actually is fascinating because now they're not trying to score. They're just trying to protect. And the bowlers are like, well, fuck, how do we get this guy out? So they start like, imagine you're batting and now there's 9 guys in your face.
Everyone just creeps in. Everyone creeps in.
Like your world's getting smaller.
Yeah.
It is kind of fast. It is fascinating when it happens, but when you explain it or you see it without the like people post those clips all the time and it looks like, what is a bunting?
Yeah.
But with the context, it's fascinating. All right. So we're going to play a game where I'm going to give you some Yankee players, current, old, greats, rookies, and just some like characteristics. And you have to tell us the cricket equivalent.
Got it.
Some you can do Australian, I think. If not.
Okay. Yeah, I think most of my brain is mostly Australian, but if there's anything out of the way, I'll get something. Okay.
All right. So we have Derek Jeter, leader, captain, clutch, legend. Retired, but he was the captain of the Yankees. He won a lot of World Series with them, beloved by...
How many World Series did he win? A lot?
4.
4? Okay. Perfect.
4.
4. And good hitter?
5. 1 for the thumb. Dumb.
Good. One for the good hitter? Good hitter?
Not a lot of power, but contact hitter.
Okay.
So he has 3,000 hits, which is done by less than 10 people, right?
It's a short list.
12 people, maybe?
Okay. My first one is going to be, captain, leader, lot of runs. I'm going to go Ricky Ponting.
Punter. That's who I thought you might go.
Ricky Ponting. And the alternative would be Steve Waugh, who was the guy before him as the captain, but they're similar. They had similar story arcs. Great leaders, great captains, a lot of runs. Iconic Australian cricketers.
Ricky Ponting, punter. I did play-by-play with him and was in a 2-hour car ride with him once.
Wow!
Just talking.
Wow,
wild. All right, how about this? This one is a pitcher, so a bowler, crafty. Left-hander. So not a lot of, we would say velo for velocity or speed. But you guys, cricket would say pace. Not a lot of pace.
A lot of pace, okay.
But crafty. Like could manipulate, could get it done.
So left-handers are a rare breed in cricket. So I'm going to go back a little bit. Crafty, left-handers. Did he win many?
He was really good in clutch. Like all-time playoff, big moment guy.
So I'm going to go bring one back for the Aussies. Nathan Bracken, left-hander, won a World Cup with Australia. Might have won multiple World Cups, but he's a left armer. Because I said left armers are a kind of a rare breed, and not the high velo, not a high pace guy, but a lot of different variations and good. One of the best ODI, like 50 over Australian cricketers ever. Didn't play. I don't know if he played Test cricket. ODI player, very good left-hander.
I didn't know. I don't even know that name.
He's got nice, flowy, long hair. New South Wales guy. Yeah.
Okay. All right. How about this? Mariano Rivera. He pitched at the end of games. So he was a closer. So the alternative is death bowling. You guys say bowling at the death.
Yes.
It's like the very end of the game to kind of like just end it. He only threw one pitch.
Oh.
And he's the greatest all time at closing games.
Oh, wow. Closer. So if we're going to go Australian, we're going to go Mitchell Starc. Even though he's an opening guy in the T20s, he opens and closes the game.
It's one of my favorite things. Like your best bowlers in T20, they can only bowl 4 overs.
Yeah, so
an over is basically an at bat. So basically they get 2 at the very beginning to kind of like take wickets, and then you save them. They go play the outfield for the whole game and then come back at the death.
But if I was to go all time of all cricketers, I think all the cricket nation would say the greatest closer of all time is Lasith Malinga from Sri Lanka. The big sidearm action. Yeah. He just bowl Yorkers in a row. He'd be the ultimate death bowler.
Okay. All right. How about this? We've got Jason Dominguez. He's a current Yankee, very young, promising, and talented, but has not played out to the hype yet.
Okay. Good.
Still a lot of career left, though.
A lot of career left. A rookie. He started well, but hasn't finished. Hasn't done a lot.
When he first got called up, he hit a home run in his first at bat. He had big double, and then now he is hasn't lived up to the hype.
I got your guy.
Yeah,
Sam Constas.
Yeah.
Sam Constas is your guy. Sam Constas made his test debut. Boxing Day test in Australia. Boxing Day test is the pinnacle test. MCG, Melbourne Cricket Ground. Got called into the squad after they had picked someone in front of him that didn't do very well. Opening day, ramps the best bowler in the world for 6. And by ramp, I mean like hits the ball behind him. And that's so rare to do in cricket. Never seen it before, and it was just so unorthodox. That first test, he got 60 runs. It was an amazing debut. Since then, not a lot of runs, and he's just got dropped. So, Sam
I made
Constas.
a video on that if you guys want to watch it. But he was 19, so he was really young.
Yes.
And cricket is, you don't get called up as young.
Sometimes you just Pat Cummins got an early debut. It can be really rare. You can go like you're getting called up at 18, or like someone like Mike Hussey didn't get called up till he was 30. Yeah. And then was an all-time cricketer, but he didn't start till he was 30.
Okay. Aaron Judge, one of the best peaks of all time right now. He's way bigger than anyone else. Insane power. Also won the batting title this year. Good defender, captain, loved by his teammates.
I think you have to go Steve Smith. Without the controversy. So I probably had 2 names there. So Steve coming in as captain, has been captain. We don't really consider power being like the be-all, end-all score that we're making like, are you the best batter? It's accumulation of runs. Yeah. So Smith has this 3rd most runs in Ashes history. He's one of the most. He's probably going to go one of the greatest of all time, and has been captain. And I think he would be the guy. The power equivalent would be David Warner. David Warner, big power hitter, top of the order. Again, a lot of runs. One of the all-time Australian batters, but he would be the power equivalent, but more like captain and of all time Hall of Fame. I'd say Steve Smith.
See, I have Judge as a crazy mixture. He's got the leadership of Pat Cummins. He's got the power of Mitch Marsh and kind of the legend or records of Steve Smith. If you do all Australians. Yes,
that's it. Mitch Marsh is also a good power hitter equivalent.
But he also is great. One of the best contact hitters, Judge. Like he had the great batting average. So I like Steve Smith's good. Steve Smith is just really quirky. Judge isn't.
The batting style is not equivalent at all. Yeah.
All right. Brett Gardner. He was a fan favorite. He was scrappy, speedy, strong defender, always played hard. His fan bases loved him. Other fan bases would be like, how the fuck is this guy winning the game?
Yeah.
Like, this is the guy that's going to do this to us? Like, we didn't prep for him.
Okay.
So just kind of like a grinder.
Scrappy grinder. Fans loved him. Other fans didn't love him. Okay.
Yeah, they didn't like hate him because he wasn't like a heel. It was just like this guy.
Okay, I think I got one. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go one of my favorite cricketers, Andrew Simons. Andrew Simons played cricket in the 2000s. He wrangles bulls in his spare time, and he was an infielder, one of the greatest infielders ever. He would always hit the stumps, like quick runouts. He did eventually score a Test 100. He got 150 with Matt Hayden, and he was a little bit of controversy. A lot of other teams didn't like him. Very outspoken, but he was a scrappy kind of guy. Yeah, I'm going to go with Andrew Simons.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right. Jazz Chisholm, he's a current Yankee. Speed and power. Flashy. Willing to play different positions. So people wouldn't think he's kind of like a team first guy, but because he's got a lot of bravado and a lot of fun quotes, but he is. Like, he plays third base because they asked him to, even though he doesn't want to. He just won the Silver Slugger, so most power as a second baseman, but kind of a smaller build with a lot of power and speed.
A lot of power, a lot of speed. You said he talks a lot. He makes.
Yeah. He's not shy to speak his mind.
Okay. Only thing that comes to mind is maybe Lavishame. I know he doesn't minus Lavishame. He talks a lot. He's like a big character.
Yeah.
He's very like no run every time he goes to the ball.
There's close.
That kind of works.
Kind of works, yeah. Because I was trying to think.
Because in positions, he kind of fields everywhere. He might field like at silly mid with the helmet on. He might go field out, in gully or out in the boundary. Yeah. And then he technically may even open. He might move up a slot for the Ashes. And then he's very just like, he just talks a lot. He talks a lot during the game. And yeah, I think that's probably he's quick in the wickets. You know
who a good comp for Gardner is that I just thought of? Warner. Warner would be a good comp for Gardner without like the shitheadery.
Yeah. Okay.
Brett Gardner was pretty, like, he wasn't off the field. He wasn't this way.
Okay.
Just on the field, he was like a grinder, like head down, like the way Warner batted on the field.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And they're both lefties and older guys.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it works.
All right, one more. I'm wearing a shirt. Cam Schlittler.
Okay.
Rookie pitcher.
Okay.
Came out of nowhere. Impressed in the regular season, but then had an all-time playoff performance. Oh, I have a good one for you here.
Okay.
Australian bowler.
Okay.
The 20. Oh, what did you come up with this one?
So you said someone came out of nowhere. I think that when you said come out of nowhere, I'm gonna say Scott Boland.
Yeah.
Scott Boland came out of nowhere. He got thrust into the Boxing Day test. That's in Melbourne. That's where he's from, and he took 6 for 7 in that second innings and just ripped through England and became a cult hero. The commentator, build him a statue. It was.
Beebs, you got to play.
You got to play build him a statue. It's one of the most iconic moments in cricket.
It's such a good call. I wonder if I can. There's like a documentary on it that's not going to be good, but there's a short that I found. That's similar. That is very similar to Cam Schlitter this postseason. Like, he had a game that was just unbelievable. Like, whoa. And I mean, like we said, there's 10 wickets in an inning, and he got 6 of them.
6 of them, and only gave up 7 runs.
Yeah, he just ripped through.
Which is like 6 for 7 may be the greatest figures ever.
And if you are you love sports documentaries, like I tried to I remember texting my dad and my brother the episode of what's the
it's called The Test, right?
The Test. It's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Episode of The Test. The scene where this happens with all the commentary and the extra footage, because he is native Aboriginal.
He's indigenous Aboriginal.
Aboriginal.
Yeah.
And so it was his home field that he got called up on. So then there's the crowd section. And like I said, when you're done bowling in cricket, you go play the outfield.
Yes.
So after he goes to the outfield, and now the fans are right breathing down his neck, chanting his name. Yeah. And if I would go watch The Test. You can just skip to that scene. The whole thing I enjoy.
Yeah.
But that is like, I don't care if you like the sport or not. Some sports documentaries just hit you in the feels.
Yeah.
And that one was crazy. But
it's one of the feel-good moments in sport for sure.
Oh. They put music behind it.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's one. But the announcer just goes, build the man a statue.
Yeah.
Which is... Bowling's got 6 at the G.
So
6 wickets at the G.
Yes,
which is
the MCG.
Yeah, the grounds.
And
Melbourne
that's
cricket
and
grounds.
that's the thing. Like, so getting a fifer in cricket is a pinnacle for the bowler.
Yes.
So that's like getting 5 strikeouts, or
No, it's rarer than that.
Well, as in every time you get a wicket, that's because wickets are so rare in cricket because you only 10. But
it would be similar to like 6 innings pitch or 7 innings pitch shutout, and you walk off because if a pitcher goes 7 innings pitched, no runs, he's gonna walk off the mound and they're gonna get a standing ovation, and he's gonna tip his hat to the crowd and acknowledge them. And in cricket, if you get 5 wickets, you get the ball and you show it to the crowd, and they give you a standing ovation. Yes. So that would be the comp.
Yeah. And then the other part of it, which is so crazy, is just how many runs he gave up. Like 7 runs is
insane.
So rare.
Yeah.
Like normally those figures would be like, if it would be 5 for 60 or 5 for 80. Like it would be a lot of runs.
Yeah. And Beebs, this guy, they have a starting rotation in cricket. It's and for Australia they have 3 quicks, and a spinner. So it's Pat Cummins, Mitchell Stark, Josh Hazelwood, and then Nathan Lyon is a lefty spinner. But whenever someone gets hurt, he's just a reserve. This guy Scott Boland, but he's so good.
No.
So
he's so
there's
good.
no dip in quality.
Yeah.
He just can't crack the others.
Yes, the other
but
ones.
now 2 of them are hurt, so he's
2 of them are hurt,
well.
so he's definitely a shoe-in. He's in for this test.
I like watching test cricket bowling a lot because they're going to throw the same ball over and over and over again, and so you kind of know what they're doing, and it's just like prodding.
It's you're trying to set the batter up. You're setting the batter up. So like I'm guessing like you probably use the tunneling in baseball terms. Like you're trying to put the ball on a length, and maybe you're trying to get the batter to get into a certain rhythm or think a certain ball is coming, and then maybe you'll just turn the seam a little slightly in, and it'll come in instead of going away.
Yeah.
You take the edge. And it's that battle.
Yeah. So anyone still listening, we will be live on Thursday night, 9:30 Eastern, for the first session. Mitchell Stark will be opening with the new ball if they choose to bowl.
If they choose to bowl, it's a spicy wicket. It's a lot of green tops.
I hope so, because I love watching Stark with a new ball.
Yeah, if they win the toss, whoever wins the toss will probably bowl first.
Yes. Yeah. So join us if you want. Liam won a World Cup. I'm a super fan. I'll be there. We'll be talking to the chat and kind of doing like commentary, but just also like helping people understand what's going on. And then there will be tons of coverage. So if you have any friends that are into cricket, help us out. Pass the word. That's Cricket on YouTube, on podcasts, everywhere. And you're going to be doing social stuff the whole time.
Covering all of it. That's cricket.
Awesome. All right. Anything else, Beebs? I think that's it.
Jimmy, one more segment. This segment is brought to you by Alex vs. A-Rod. Don't miss Alex vs. A-Rod. Now streaming on HBO Max. New episodes Thursdays. And the second of 3 episodes came out last week. The final episode comes up in 2 days as we're recording this and as this will be released. I brought in Dan Rourke, our resident A-Rod guy, who I know has been watching this doc, as have I. Dan, what'd you think of episode 2?
Well, episode 2 I liked a lot. I just got to say, for those who aren't familiar with the hype I had going into this was a big deal for me, Beebs.
Oh, yeah.
Just to give like a quick little background, I won't yap too much, but A-Rod, I don't watch the Yankees without A-Rod. Mm-hmm. I am an A-Rod fan before I'm a Yankee fan. And when the biogenesis thing was going down, I think you know this story, but I was writing letters to Yankee Stadium addressed to Alex Rodriguez, having his back, saying, I know you're innocent. MLB is railroading it, which they still did to a degree, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I had his back till the federal jury said, no, he did this. Like, I've always been an A-Rod guy. And the second I realized he was guilty of majority of it, I always was saying, I need the tell-all book one day. I kept thinking, one day I need the truth from A-Rod. And this, when I heard about this documentary coming out, I was like, word, here we go. This is finally it. Now, episode 3 is where the juice is really going to, no pun intended.
It seems like, episode 1, we got Mariners and a little bit of the start of like, okay, he signs that big contract in Texas. That's crazy. Yeah. Episode 2 is he gets to the Yankees and we cover all that. And it more or less gets through the World Series, which we'll dive into a little more. And it seems like episode 3 is lining up to be kind of where the personal controversies and hopefully a deeper dive on the PED situations and all of that biogenesis.
Yeah, episode 2 was
post-retirement.
what I think will definitely be the least depressing of the 3, because episode 1 was, not to give too many spoilers, but I'm sure we're talking in a relative open forum here. Episode 1 really goes into the fact that his dad left him at 10 years old.
Yeah, there was a lot of that, a lot of
And
heartstrings and early years, and
it's one of those things where, obviously you don't want to like make excuses for somebody, which I certainly am always willing to do for players that I like, and A-Rod's a prime example. But man, like just hearing him talk about it, because you know the story that he grew up basically without his dad, but actually hearing the man speak on it, it's like no wonder that would change your ability to be able to handle certain things in adulthood. So that's one thing. That first episode I thought was fantastic. Episode 2 was awesome, especially for a Yankee fan to watch, because it was not all like sunshine and rainbows, not by any means, but it concludes almost sunshine and rainbows, because 09 was the fairy tale ending for A-Rod. And it says, I thought it was so box office the way he closed that episode and really left you on a cliffhanger. They win the World Series in 09. Great, one of the greatest postseasons of all time. Finally gets that monkey off his back. And then, of course, you know what happens afterwards. And A-Rod, to conclude the episode, pretty much says, and I wish I retired after 09.
Would have saved myself a lot of trouble. And it almost reminds me of, I won't make any more Star Wars comparisons to this, but it's like when the prequels came out, it was a story of the fall of Anakin Skywalker, and you thought it would take place over the entire course of those 3 episodes. And then all of a sudden, the first 2 episodes come and go, which were incredible. But then, we got a lot we got to fit in episode 3. We have 1 episode left, and it is going to be, this is the tell-all. It's like, this is where the story is coming up. So this is the part, every read we're doing, it talks about controversy and falling from grace and all that. And
this is it.
Obviously, there's little things throughout in the first 2 episodes, but this episode I expect to be.
Yeah, and to clarify,
one.
I'm strictly talking about like the PED side, like biogenesis PEDs, because through 2 episodes, you get some significant stuff. Like the dad situation, that's by no means nothing. That is, in a way, that it spreads out to be the whole story.
Like anybody, your childhood impacts.
Yeah, oh my God.
The way you are as an adult.
And it's not just a thing of like, no matter what, by default, your dad leaves you. That's awful. But he thought his dad was coming back. Every night, he said, like, every night I was looking out, and he'd hear a car come in, and he thought it'd be his dad.
Yeah, so any car went down the street, he thought it's about to pull in, and
now,
it's heartbreaking.
It really is, and I don't really watch, I'm not the type of person that watches Hallmark movies. I don't really get I'm not somebody like, get emotional watching something, but, like, just nuts. And there's so many, like, cool things. One more to touch on, but the dad stuff in regards to the things in the show that are incredibly badass. The series where his dad came to visit him in Minnesota that was set up by his ex-wife, Cynthia, that was box office. He said he had one of the best 4-game stretches of his career, which hearing him say that's pretty funny because it's like he probably had that exact same 4-game stretch like a million times because he's so good. But he was basically just like, yo, F you. And they didn't really make up, and that was one of the things I was like, yo, this is awesome. And in episode 2, you get a lot about 09, which for me as a Yankee fan, or somebody that's I've consumed so much A-Rod media over the years, that was more of like the celebratory aspect of his career, something that no matter how you feel about A-Rod, all Yankee fans will say, yo, thank you for 09.
Because you don't get 09 without him. It covers that, covered his MVP years.
Yeah.
It was,
and everything about A-Rod is so box office, even the bad stuff. But like 09, why is it so great? Well, in itself, it's one of the greatest postseasons of all time. But the narrative entering that postseason, it was that he's a playoff choker and he, can't perform in the moment. There was so much turmoil about his career. And this is what's so devastating about the biogenesis stuff that we'll get into in episode 3 is the start of 09 was when the initial PED revelation was coming out about the Texas Rangers stint 01 to 03, which they touch on that, but that's not the main story.
They do like the press
anymore.
conference, admitting to that,
and it's cannot be emphasized enough, like how much of a fairy tale year that was for him with the way it started and then finished. Because it started with that press conference, and A-Rod said, "I want you to look at me from this day forward." And if you just close it into that 1 year. Oh, it's the most perfect storybook ending of all time.
He gets a major injury, comes back.
First pitch.
The second he comes back,
First
season
pitch.
takes off.
Oh, Yankees were, what was
I think they said
They were 8-13 or something at the time,
yeah,
or like
they were
whatever
a
it
few
was.
games under.
Yeah, and nothing was gelling. To share a brand new free agent signing course wasn't hitting. Nothing was like really
CeCe's
clicking.
first couple starts weren't good.
Yeah, and then A-Rod, not even if he had hit a homer on the second pitch, it'd be just as badass. But not really. The first pitch, like that's what A-Rod does, yo. Like he steps into the box, and I'll tell you, I had not known that Hal was kind of on the phone with him saying, "Yo, like." It kind of rushed him back a little bit early.
Yeah, like
I did not know that.
Like maybe maybe they did do one and it didn't get covered in the doc, but like it seemed like he didn't like do a rehab stint.
No, it was just like
he's just like
it seemed like he was like
You're back.
closing in on coming back. But maybe it seemed like maybe there's a few days left, a week back. But it was just like, yo, Hal was like, yo, we need you.
He was starting to ramp it up, and they were like, you're back.
Yeah, and then he comes back, first pitch, 3-run bomb into left field. And throughout that entire season, incredibly clutch. He had a couple walk-off home runs in May, one of which being the 4 consecutive, or 3 of 4 against Minnesota. They all walked off. And like that's where the magic really started happening with 2009. And then you get, of course, I'm like telling the doc myself now, but the last game of 2009, he's entering the final game 162, 28 home runs, 93 RBIs, has a stretch in his career that's on the verge of ending, which was 30 homers, 100 RBIs for like 9 straight seasons. You figure he's not going to get it because it's game 162. He needs 2 homers and 7 RBIs. MF fucking does it in 1 inning. Like, that was 2009 for A-Rod. And then, of course, the postseason was incredible. He wins the World Series, finally monkey off his back. And that should have been the ending. Like, if it just ended there. But it doesn't, and that's what we're going to find out in episode 3. And it's horrible, actually. It crushes me because A-Rod had so much freaking talent. And that's something that I always knew because I heard it. Like, you always heard people that saw him at the time as a prospect coming up. But even watching it back now, like at my age here, and I'm seeing the way he looked in high school, it's like, yo, you can just tell through the TV screen seeing old footage of 18-year-old Alex Rodriguez.
He's just better than everybody.
He truly probably, you would say this, but you can see with your own eyes, like the most talented prospect of all time. He didn't need to do any of this. And like the fall of many other great men in this world, it's a thing of greed and ego, all this and that.
Yeah, but Joe's and I talked about
It's
it a little bit after last episode, but like truly, like we hadn't conceived of contracts that big at the time. It's like if last year they gave Soto, like if you scaled it the same way, it's like if they gave Soto like $1.4 billion. Like it was more than double the next biggest contract in the sport and in any sport and.
You know what?
It was crazy pressure, and it's like the further away I get from that, and the way people look at contracts now is so different that like I do almost get more than I did at the time. Like the idea that like the pressure of the contract might have been the impetus for that.
Right.
I
want to touch on that really quick because this is something that really it crushes me about A-Rod's career, which so many other things do. I wish it was just that initial stint with the Rangers because. Contract aside, which that in its own, I don't say justifies it, but you could at least like sympathize with it a little more.
Sure.
But even just the era, it was the steroid era. And I know Jeter hates when people would say it, but to a degree, almost everybody was doing it. And that was the purpose of the survey test.
He failed.
Over half the league was using
failed,
it. You know, like if it was just that one blip on the radar. And I think the same logic goes for Manny Ramirez if he hadn't used the second time. Like, I wish it was just that 0-1 to 0-3. And I'm telling you right now, if it was just 0-1 to 0-3, I firmly believe A-Rod would be in the Hall of Fame today, done. It'd be the same instance as David Ortiz, who, whatever, he was on a survey test too. I thought a great line was, I think Francesa said it, and Francesa's obviously box office. Mickey Mantle said, yo, if they put this shit in front of me, I'd do it too, in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
you know?
that was available to him.
I don't know, I think sometimes we get very, like, is the word, is moralistic or word or something like that. We get so like caught up in the high and mighty morals of things that we forget that like, we're human beings. Like there's a good chance a lot of people that hate A-Rod to death would also have followed through the exact same way.
In the exact same position. And
he's not the first person, not the first player, athlete, let alone that, to have an ego and to want to be the greatest. And unfortunately, that led to his demise. But I'll tell you, man, I understand that he's not in the Hall of Fame, and I actually understand the reasoning behind it. Maybe it's me being back to being a fanboy, but like watching this doc, I feel more and more bad for him. And I'm just like, you know what? This is one of the greatest players of all time. The story is borderline tragic.
Yeah,
I just hope it ends well for him.
Yeah, I'm curious how they'll wrap it up. In this episode specifically, we talk about a lot of the, the first year he gets to the Yankees is 2004 when they blow the 3-0 lead. And Michael Kay mentions it in the documentary, like, look at what his numbers were looking like in the playoffs before the collapse. I have them pulled up here in the first 7 postseason games. So that's through the DS in the first 3 games they won. 37 plate appearances. A-Rod had 14 hits, so a 424 batting average, 486 on base, 758 slug, a 1.244 OPS. He was doing basically what Judge did this year. He had 2 homers, 5 doubles. He actually does homer in game 4 of that series as well. Yep. But after that, he was like 1 for 12 in the final 3 games. Yeah.
That started the stretch of, what was it, like until 09. He had like an RBI single in the ALDS against Minnesota, but before that, there was like 3 straight playoff series. He hadn't recorded an RBI or something like that.
Yeah, like people, you get. I remember the narrative being like playoff choker and terrible, hasn't come through in the playoffs at all. But I knew he had a good playoff career before Yankees. Like I knew he had good runs in Seattle, and I think I knew that he started 04 good and all that. But like looking at the game log, like from game 5 of that 04 series until 09, so it gets you 3 full playoff runs and finishing up 04. Those 70 plate appearances, it was like
bad.
It was bad. They were bad.
Dropped to
numbers.
8th.
They dropped him to 8th. Yeah, he was 143 batting average, of 529 OPS. Like you said, just 1 RBI, 1 home run in those 16 playoff games. That not to, comparing it to now, people were talking about how terrible Judge has been, and like.
Just gonna mention
Judge obviously underwhelming, and I've never disagreed with I wanted more from Judge in the playoffs before this year, where he finally put together like the full run of just great stats and clutch moments and all of that.
That's what I was.
But his numbers were never this. I mean, he just walked more is what it mostly comes down to. A-Rod was getting his walks in here too.
He talked about
Judge was still having
too.
like 800 OPSs.
Yeah, and like Judge's had. Like early on, he had like the good postseasons, and like this year definitely did a lot for him. And it's a shame because they just kept going. Like you figured this would have been Judge's 09, but individually, I think it definitely it helps his status for us a lot. But one thing about Judge, I think about like in comparison to A-Rod is, I can't speak on the mindset of the fans at the time from a first person perspective because I wasn't diehard by that point. 2011 was my first year, so I've done a lot of lore studying at the time. That's how whatever. But dude, like with Judge, it's brutal. Like there are parts of Yankee fandom that disregard everything that Judge does in the regular season because he had not performed in October or had those troubles in October.
It's like, oh, great.
Yeah. And to a degree, I think that's what makes us awesome.
It's what makes
like,
Yankee being a Yankee fan better. Like, I'm not even somebody that's disagreeing with the notion that, like,
people can be nasty
Judge
about
had
it, but
his struggles in the playoffs relative to the all-time seasons we've seen.
Yeah. So with that said, though, it's like I know how bad that was, and it would get bad.
And for A-Rod to go through
Judge is homegrown. Judge wasn't right after a high in terms of winning championships. Like even though A-Rod came over in 04, obviously they had gone to the World Series in 01 and then 03. So, and shit, at that time, 4 years ago, they won the World Series. So it's like you're coming off this period of, it's all clicking, everything's working, we're winning World Series, and you have this great core, blah, blah, blah. And then A-Rod shows up and they're not winning. He's not performing. He's not homegrown. He's brought in as like a, not to be cliche here, but like hired gun type thing or, gravy on top of what was already an elite roster, and they don't win. Like, I know how bad it was already with Judge in the narrative surrounding his playoff struggles, and he is in such a better position to be beloved because he's homegrown, and the team before him was not winning titles nonstop or wasn't like the best of the best. So it's like, I can only imagine how brutal it actually was.
Yeah.
And what really, I know I'm yapping here, but like just one more thing on like episode 3 coming up and the biogenesis thing. It's such a shame because the rumor has it, the documented use is, for a second time, was he started again in 2010. Apparently he started a couple weeks before his 600th home run. We'll see if that's actually the case come episode 3.
Yeah,
but that was in
what we learn about.
Yeah, that was in 2010, and it's like, I wonder if there's any way, and I hope he doesn't try to justify it. I don't think there's really any way to try to justify it because it's like, by that point, the pressure should have been off A-Rod. Like, you finally did win. You finally had that postseason. Like, you finally were embraced as a true New York Yankee. You won. So why do you start taking steroids the next year again? After already a year earlier and a year and a half earlier saying, look at me from this day forward. And I say that out of love. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. But he's telling all the truth now. So I mean, the documentary is fantastic, and I've been loving it. I'm sad it ends this week, but
Yeah, it's been fun. It's a good time for it before hot stove season really kicks in. Check it out, HBO Thursday nights. Yeah.
word up.
Go Yanks. Tell them, Grams.
Go Yankees.